Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Taylor, and welcome to this evening's Due Respite presentation. We have a very special night for you tonight. It's not one of our ongoing games. It is a one-shot, and more importantly than that, and probably the most special part about it is I'm not running it. You get to actually listen to somebody else for once, which I'm sure everyone in chat is excited about, and if you're not, you should be very excited for that as a thing. As you can see, if you look up, Vera Says Dragons is going to run for us, and tonight we are running a indie game called The Land Whispers. It is an indie game by @LittleCuppaJoe on Twitter, and in the credits this evening, if you stick through the entire thing, there will be a link to where you can pick it up. There is also supposed to be a link saved in my clipboard there, but you're already here in Twitch, so you don't need that. But I just posted a link to it in chat. So for now, though, we're going to do a quick introduction of our players. Again, I'm Eric Taylor. I don't get to finish this off, so I get to start it off tonight. I'm going to jump down to blue. We'll go to Shawnee, then we'll go up to Vera, and we'll turn the time over to Vera from there.
Hello. Many of you might know me by now. I am Hidden Blue Pants, also known as Blue. You can find me pretty much here, but also on Twitter, where I hang out and I like to play games. So that's why I'm here.
Hey, I am Chantel B. You can find me at Chantel B on Twitter. I am very often on Twitter, mostly on Twitter. I'm also here a lot and in other places. I play a lot of games. Find me and say hi. That sounds more threatening than it should be, but also is less threatening than it could be.
Might have to start scripting Shawnee's intro. Then she doesn't threaten my listener base. All right, and last but not least, our storyteller for this evening, the one and only Vera Says Dragons.
As terrifying as I seem, that might be a lie. I will be running, as stated, The Land Whispers, which was a game written by my friend Jess at Little Cup of Joe. You should absolutely check her out. She's a fantastic artist and a fantastic game writer. This is a system that I very much love, and I'm very excited to share it with all of these people. All of my players here have requested to go in blind, so they don't know anything about this game. So I'm going to be teaching them as I'm teaching you. So the point of The Land Whispers is a collaborative storytelling and world building game. You're not rolling dice. You're probably not going to end up in combat, but you never know. You could, and then it's just all going to be by how well you tell the story, if that somehow miraculously happens. So that'll be cool. You do not pre-build characters. You build your characters as you're playing, although you could technically, if you have an original character that's built and ready to be used, you could just play this game with that character and figure them out. The Land Whispers is the land whispering to you. For some reason or another, all of you have left your homes. You have wandered. Perhaps there was a war that drove you out. Perhaps there was strife within your family, or just a wanderlust that took you in your very bones. And you've been wandering for some time before you find a place to settle. And you find it in a snowy mountain that calls to you in a way that perhaps you don't understand. In your soul, you feel a bit of a resonance, and that is perhaps why you decided to stop here. Blue, I would like you to name your character right now, and then tell me something interesting about them. Yeah, this is how it works. It can be an interesting physical trait, or it can be an interesting personality trait that you think has some value. I know. I know.
Let me take a look at those names from old characters that I found earlier. Ooh, I am very put on the spot.
Yes, you are. That's how it works.
Um,
You should have seen me the first time I played this game. It was a mess.
No, but I am worse, and we know this. Oh, good lord. I have no idea. Let's start with an interesting trait.
Okay.
That seems like a good idea.
Okay.
Well, since you actually had put this thought into my head as soon as you had sent that we had left our homes for some reason or another, my character is of the Wanderlust category of that area, although they do not know where they are going or what their destination is.
Okay.
They don't know what they're looking for. They're just looking. I
Okay.
can tell you that much. Names. The part where we look around the room.
You should look at Zoom chat.
You should look at the Zoom
Look
chat.
at Zoom chat. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong chat. It has been a day.
Wow.
Tyrion, let's go with that.
Tyrion. All right. You're playing Tyrion the Wanderer. All right. Chantel, I would like you to name your character and tell me something interesting about them.
Let's go with Sami.
Sami, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's a name, not a trait.
Okay.
And something interesting. Sami is 7.
There's a child in the wilderness, is what you're telling me.
Apparently so.
Okay. You know what? Sure.
You didn't put restrictions.
I didn't.
There were no restrictions.
I didn't restrict you
It's
at all.
7-year-old Sami.
7-year-old Sami. Okay. Eric, you know the drill.
I do. I am Pratt, and Pratt is he's really grumpy, kind of all the time. It's pretty clear that he's had something go on in the past that's left him pretty grumpy.
Okay. So we have a broody grump. We have a wanderer, and we have a 7-year-old. Great. I love it. All right. So the way this works is you get hands. Normally, I would also technically be a player, but I'm going to be running this so that I am the land around you working secrets. Each of you will get a hand of cards, and I will tell you what the cards are. And you will answer the cards. And for your hand, you are technically the game master, and then I'll be here to help push things along. So you get to build the world, you get to build your character, and this can lead to points of role play that you build on as much or as little as you want. After each player has had their hand conclude, each player has to ask one other player a question. Each player can only ask or answer one question, and I will let you know what the questions are so that you can choose from them as we go. Sound good? All right. Blue, we're going to draw your first card, okay? All right, so I'm really bad at shuffling cards, so we're going to hope this worked. It's not one of the skills that I have. We have a diamond ace. So that is going to be your home. So Taryn, you wandered into this snowy forest, this mountainous area, and you make a home here. Did you build this home, or was it already here when you arrived?
I don't think they're the type of person to have all of this architectural skills to build a home, so this home was probably here.
Okay. So what kind of home is it that you found?
I'm getting little cottage in the woods vibes.
Okay. Is it in disrepair? Is it somehow like new, like the owner stepped out only a moment ago and could return at any time but hasn't?
I think it would probably be something along the lines of the original. It's not a new home, but it's not incredibly old either.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like something that was built within probably like the past 3-4 years, something like that. But for some reason, the original homeowner left, and so there's like dust, perhaps, and some like what's the word? Like mothball items, strewn about. But it's okay. It's okay. We got some cleaning to do.
You do. And how do you take on that task? Do you take it on with vigor, or are you dreading it?
Oh no, this is an energetic person. This person is wandering the land for no reason, for no known reason. They have energy.
Okay. All right, your second card is the 9 of Hearts, which is about you. What will you do if someone comes to find you? Who are they and why were they searching?
As if someone was actually searching for me, like specifically me?
Yes, you. Or perhaps this is where one of your other players comes in.
I don't know, would any of you actually be looking for me? I'm getting confused. All right.
You tell me. You tell me.
I don't know. Why is a 7-year-old in the woods?
I mean, maybe looking for you, but you haven't said anything, so it's up to you.
I ain't your dad. I ain't your mom either. Okay. Let's see. Why is it someone looking for me, and what would I do? Looking for me specifically?
Looking for you.
Probably be very confused because they don't know why anyone is looking for them.
All right, so I'm gonna story tell a little bit here.
Go for it.
Sammy, you've been wandering these woods for a while, and you're cold and you're hungry and you're tired. It's aching in your fingers and your toes, and you come across a cottage out of almost nowhere. The trees around it almost seem to break, and you enter into this snow-filled clearing, and you see a cottage that looks somehow incredibly welcoming. You can see in the one window that exists on this place, there's a fire, and it's cracking. And it's active. Like someone is home, or perhaps was just home. What do you do?
Knock on the door.
I'm assuming it's my home.
Yes, it's your home.
I shall answer. Hello?
Hi.
Looking straight up.
Down here.
Oh! Oh, hi.
It's cold out here. Can I come in?
Oh, yep. Yeah, sure. Small child, I guess. What are you doing in the woods?
I don't know. It didn't make sense to stay still anymore.
Right. Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
So I figured I'd
to me.
get moving.
Okay. Are you hungry?
Yes.
I have some food.
I walk in. I just walk straight in.
Suddenly I have a child.
Head to the kitchen.
Okay. All right. So just like that, you have acquired a child.
I have
Congratulations.
acquired a child.
Walk in, put my feet up on the couch. There's a couch, right? There is now. Putting feet up on the couch.
There is now.
Chillax.
Okay. Shoes off.
Oh.
Please.
I slip off my Nikes.
You don't
My feet smell a bit.
That's okay. That's
Is there a coffee table? I put my feet
perfectly
up.
okay. No, no feet on the furniture. Who raised you? So, where are your parents?
I don't know.
Right. Not a.
Where are yours?
I haven't checked in with them for a while, but I am not a small child.
Neither am I.
Okay. How old are you?
7.
Right, not a small child. 7. Cool. How did you lose your parents? Did you get separated from them?
No. I'm sure they're at home.
Where is home?
Not here.
Totally the answer I was looking for. Okay, cool. Do you have a town name for where you're from?
Do you?
Where I'm from? Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I do.
Oh.
Usually towns have names. Do you have a name? I just realized I don't know your name.
Oh, my name's Sammy.
Wow, cool. I'm Taryn.
Hey.
This is not where I thought my life would go.
So I'm not cold anymore, but I am still hungry. So
Right, food. I'm gonna get on that now.
All right.
Thank you.
So you feed Sami, and you have found yourself the impromptu guardian of a small child, which will bring us to our next card. This terrain is completely unexplored by you. You've never been here. You've never seen anything like it, either of you. And so one day, the two of you decide to go out and explore this new place that you found home. And while you are doing so, you get caught in a storm. Where do you manage to take shelter until it passes? And what do you find there?
This is a mountain, right?
You are in a mountainous forest.
My best guess would probably be a cave. I don't know what I'd find there. Hopefully not a bear.
If you don't know what you could find there, then Eric, can I say perhaps that Pratt has taken shelter in that same cavern?
Sure.
You are muted, my friend.
Only to Zoom.
You are still muted, my friend.
Yeah, only to Zoom, not to them. But yes, sure.
Okay. The storm is howling around you. The winds have whipped it into a whiteout. The snow that's on the ground is being swirled about. And for a moment, you swear you can see patterns, almost like words in it, but then you're driven away from the cold. You, after all, are no longer alone and kind of have a little one to protect. The cavern is a blessing when you see it. It's small enough that perhaps it will keep most of the wind out, and you stumble within, and it leads into a tunnel that goes slowly deeper. You traverse it to get as far from the cold as you can, and you stumble upon another figure.
Hello?
So Pratt is in the cave with a fire. He's in a large, like bearskin kind of coat. Has a hugely long, kind of tangled beard. Has like a coonskin hat on to keep his head warm.
What? Why are you in my cave?
It's cold.
I mean, that's what snow does. Makes it cold. Well, yeah, sounds right.
Mm-hmm. You have fire.
I have fire.
That's not-
Making fire's not hard. I don't understand why you need my fire. It seems like if you're gonna be out in the cold, you should probably have like a basic skill set.
I mean, we do. It's just the wind is kind of preventing.
That's why you get on the leeward side of the tree, and then the wind doesn't come in.
Okay, but then there's still the wind with the snow that's still coming down, so then it's like just blowing around you. And I don't feel like getting buried today, so we found a cave.
I mean,
It just happened to be your cave.
you found my cave. You didn't find a cave.
Well, yes, I said we found a cave that happened to be your cave, except at the moment we found the cave, we didn't realize it was your cave, so at the time we had found a cave.
Well, I didn't see your name on it, so now it's my cave too.
Fair.
No, there's a sign outside.
I didn't see a sign.
That's
no.
not my fault. Just means that you're blind.
No.
Maybe you
No.
just don't write good.
You can stay in that part of the cave.
Is it warm?
Cool. Thank you.
I mean, it will be
dear
once you build
stranger.
a fire. Which again
Great.
is a basic skill.
I will build this fire on
Okay, good.
that side of the
'cause-
cave.
I mean, I'm not allowed to,
Yeah,
play
you're
with
s-
fire.
You're 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting you touch fire.
That sounds like a good idea because fire can burn.
Fire can burn. Yes, it sounds like a good idea because fire's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it brings that smoke stuff.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we just use your fire though? You already have one.
Because it's my fire. We just covered this. You covered
That,
it in your own sentence.
I mean, sure, but like sharing is good. I have to share at home, so
But
like,
you're
why
not
don't
at
you
home,
have
are
to
you?
share?
You're in my cave.
No, I'm in my cave.
No, you're very much not. Very much in my cave. And this is my
Sammy's-
fire. And you are trespassing.
Sami's gonna crouch down and in the dirt just use her finger to write her name on the dirt. It's got my name on it.
Okay, you own that patch of dirt.
But that patch of dirt like extends out and makes a whole cave.
I think the concept of property rights might be beyond your little mind, young thing.
I'm a kid.
I'm aware. You may sleep on that patch of dirt. It's
I don't
kind
really
of
want to sleep right now.
fire proximate-ish.
Are you like using the whole fire?
It's not like that big of a fire.
Something about
Is he like hugging it?
predators outside, right? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a big enough fire. You knew there was fire in the cave until you got here. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Sami sits on the other side of the fire.
Your daughter's choosing to be a mite bit of trouble.
She's not my kid. I don't know how I ended up with a child. I
And
just
he's gonna
kind of
like
did.
reach for his woodsman's axe and kind of
I
pull it a
didn't
little bit closer to
steal
him.
the child. The child ended up on my doorstep. I asked the child, "Hey, where are you from?" And the child went, "Oh." And then I went, "Hey, kid, where's your parents?" And the child went, "I don't know, not here." And so now
All
I
right,
have a
there's
child.
one rule if you're
named
gonna
Stan.
stay in my cave. After sunset is quiet time. The sun set hours ago.
I'm gonna check the time, actually. Did it set hours ago? Just gonna, like, lean.
You're muted me.
You're muted.
No, I did it. Pro streamers, everyone. How long were you exploring?
Oh, I don't know.
You're the GM for this hand, technically.
Oh, no, that's a terrifying thought.
Welcome to the Land Whispers.
Oh, good lord. I looked at my keyboard, 3 hours.
Okay. So you probably left when the sun was still pretty high, seeing as you didn't want to get trapped out at midnight. Considering how long you spent in the storm, it's probably about a half hour until sunset in all actuality. It's just you can't see anything because there's storm clouds everywhere.
So, actually, Mr. Bear, stranger, sir, we still have, like, just a bit of time until sunsets, so not quiet time yet.
Great. What's your name?
Pratchett.
Is it
Cool.
Pratchett with the hatchet?
I don't like you.
Do you like anyone?
Largely no.
That's
Well,
so
that's okay then.
surprising.
That's why I live in a cave. Most people who like people don't live in caves. We kind of do it to be solitary.
And he'll like reach out and like carve off like a chunk of whatever is cooking over the fire,
Ooh.
and he will toss it to the little girl.
She eats in silence.
He'll
Staring at him, just like.
toss some to Taryn as well.
If you're gonna be here,
Oh.
you may as well eat. You're gonna have to be
Oh,
useful in
thank
the
you.
morning as repayment for borrowing my cave.
I mean, sure.
You've paid off your rent for my cave for the night.
I still don't like you.
I mean, as you just
I like
said,
you.
you don't like anyone, so
I
that's
like
really
her
not
less than I
surprising.
like most other people.
Wow. Well,
Ooh.
she's 7, so that's not surprising.
Hmm.
No offense, you're great. I love you, small child that's suddenly decided to take up space in my home for no apparent reason.
In your home for no apparent reason?
Yes. Taryn has the face of no apology.
Okay.
And Pratchett will take one of the like charcoal sticks and like make another line on the wall of the back of the cave. There's a lot of lines on the wall of the cave.
Just
Are you
out
counting
of
trees.
What?
Are you counting trees?
No.
Oh.
Are you counting annoyances? A voice.
That would be a lot more lines.
Did not hear that.
That would be a lot more lines than I have. This is how many nights I've lived in this cave.
It's a big number.
Yes. I've been here a while.
It's like more than 20.
Yes.
You all hear a bit of a ghostly giggle.
Oh, right. That's not terrifying.
Are you sure you're alone in your lonely cave that's also my lonely cave now?
Nope.
Is that why you're grumpy?
Nope.
Did you check? Perhaps.
Where do you
if
think
you
I
were-
got
if
the
you
coat?
were-
It's from the former occupant of the cave.
Bear, got it. Have you checked after that?
I mean, I've
to
been here
see?
for this many days.
Yeah, but you just totally said that you weren't sure. if
I
you
was
were- if you
pretty
were
sure I
alone.
was alone, and then you showed up.
Right. My point is being missed completely.
I mean, I didn't giggle. Did either of you giggle?
No.
Hmm.
And he
Pratchett with
doesn't
the
look
hatchet,
like
you
a
haven't said anything.
he doesn't look like a giggly person.
Maybe he's ticklish.
No. I do not suggest finding out.
He like pulls the axe closer. Sometimes the cave makes noises.
Giggling. The cave.
Sometimes.
The cave giggles.
Occasionally it
It's a-
sings.
It's a giggly, singy cave, the opposite of you. Okay.
Oh,
Maybe
much
that's
speak
why I
about
chose
this
this cave.
land.
You don't know.
You just said that everything annoys you and people annoy you. So why would you go into a cave?
Because the cave giggles, not people.
You confuse me.
Good.
Are you annoyed by people, or did you annoy people?
I don't have to answer that.
You're in my cave. You have to live by my rules. That's what my mom says.
He pours water on the fire.
Why are you doing that?
Because I have the coat and you don't. Now, if y'all would start being less annoying, maybe I'll keep the fire going and you can stay warm.
What do you mean keep the fire going? You just turned the fire out. That's not keeping the going good. That's starting the fire again.
You have clearly illustrated that you do not have the necessary skill set to build a fire. That's why you came in my cave.
No, I was in the middle of making a fire, and then my apparently adopted small child decided to sit in front of your fire. So I thought they were welcome, so I came over. I can build a fire.
Prove it.
Oh my god,
Use
I'm gonna
your
go
own
prove.
word.
I will.
And he like sits in front of his wood pile.
How good are you at this, Blue?
Oh, I'm getting like almost. This person came from the city. They probably have picked up some skills along the way. I'm hoping fire making is one of them.
Pratt, you watch as Terran makes a fire. It's not how you would have done it. It's not as good as you would have done it, but you know, after a while of waiting and waiting and waiting, you see that little tiny drift of smoke, and then it catches.
Good job.
Thank you.
I reckon that'll be out in about 2 hours, but, you know, I didn't say build a fire that'll last all night, so I guess you
It's a
accomplished the
fire.
task.
Yeah, it's a fire. I did it. I have proved myself, I think.
I like you less than her.
Wait, what?
I'm trying to figure out if that's a compliment or not.
Did you just change your mind and you like me more now?
I mean, I don't like you quantitatively more. I still like you the same not much amount.
Oh, but you like me some. There's some in there.
So yeah, sometimes this cave giggles.
Have you ever asked it why it's giggling? Like, what's it finding funny?
Does that seem in character for me at all?
I don't know. I just met you.
Right. But has anything in
You're
the
squatting in
course
my
of our
cave.
interactions for the past No. I've not asked. I've found that if you ask people questions, they tend to try and give you answers, and most times they don't actually give you the answers they're looking for. So you just listen to people talk for a really long time.
Do you like it here?
I did. Less so now, but I imagine tomorrow morning it'll be fine again.
Why?
Because then I only have to deal with the giggling.
Why?
Because you ain't staying beyond tomorrow morning.
Why?
Child suddenly worried if we'll be dead by morning.
He just pulls his hat down over his eyes and leans back against the wood pile.
All right. And the night passes in relative quiet, although around midnight, you swear for a moment, all of you, that you just hear. No, it's not even that you hear, it's that you feel something calling to you out in the forest. It's not. You're not compulsed to follow, but you hear it and you feel it in that moment. Just this soft beckoning that lights through you, and then it fades, and you fall back into your sleep, as restful or restless as that may be. And then we come to Blue's final card,
Oh, that's
which
right. That's a thing.
is, yes, the 8 of clubs, which is the past. You find a site that appears to have ritual significance. Describe what you find and say if it has any connections to other discoveries you've made so far.
Ritual
Significance.
We're in a cave.
You are in a cave.
The first thing my brain went to was not necessarily cave drawings, but almost like etching.
I was about to say, I swear to every god, if you say secret tunnel.
I could have, but I didn't. I missed my chance.
You did.
Oh,
It's too late now.
I am notorious for finding secret tunnels. Whatchamacallit? More like cave etchings, almost as if they were like literally carved out of the wall deeper into the cave.
Mhm.
For ritual purposes, let's say that it's describing a ritual of some sort.
Okay. You find etchings in the wall as you wake a little earlier than everyone else does, even Pratt. And you walk back into the cave, and on the walls, it feels like a moment as you trace your fingers along that they're just grooves. But then your fingers sink into them and you look, and there's blue gem or something that's filling the lines, coloring them. And you back up a step and you realize that they're words, though in a language that you're not quite sure of. And these words all glint with light that you can't find the source of. It's written artistically, you would almost say, with a hand that cared about what was being created. And then you look around the cavern that you found yourself in, and it's a bowl, perfectly smooth, almost like glass. And it dips down into the very center where there appears to be almost something like a well. And at the top above, you see a red crystal in the ceiling, hanging down. And you realize that that's where the light source is coming from. It doesn't fill you with any particular feeling. You don't know if this is something that was meant to be blessing or malevolent, but it's very old.
Everyone else is still asleep?
At this moment, yes.
I'm going to basically study the etchings more. Not do anything specifically, but just study them more. If I happen to have paper and pencil or charcoal, whichever,
You
I
can.
will make notes.
Okay. You make notes.
I will make
You've done
notes.
things like this before in your travels, taken notes of just things that have been interesting that you've wanted to research but never quite have. But something about this bites into you and doesn't seem to let go. You want to understand this. You just don't know what it is. Do you wake anyone else to tell them of your discovery, or do you keep it to yourself for now?
I'd say they'd be too absorbed in trying to figure out what it is.
Okay.
To really remember, hey, there are 2 other people in the cave.
All right. So that's going to bring us to Eric. Your first card. Ready?
Mhm.
You also get a past card. You get 9. You come across a written account left by someone in the past. What form does it take, and can you understand the writing?
Okay, repeat. So I found a written what in the cave?
You found a written account of left behind by someone in the past. What form does it take? Can you understand the writing?
It is a journal in a, oilskin kind of wrapping to keep it waterproof, and it's a journal that's just a bunch of loose paper. It's not bound or anything. It's just a pouch that has a bunch of loose paper in it, and he can't understand what it says.
Okay. Are you going to pursue it in any way? Do you ask either of your 2 interlopers if they know what it says?
No. It's super outside of Pratchett's self-sufficiency kind of thing, so he'll find it and kind of just tuck it away in his coat.
Okay.
He cares less about the contents and more about the waterproof case that he's discovered, but
It's incredibly well made, and it feels soft in your hands, well-worn leather. It's interesting, though, because you know how leather ages, and you can tell that this leather is old. Old enough that it should probably be falling apart, but it isn't. Okay, so that's that card. Your next one is... It is you. So, did you tell anyone where you were going when you left to find this place? Why or why not?
I definitely did not. Pratchett got involved in a in a homesteading kind of feud in his previous location, and that feud ended with blood on his hands and him being kind of cast out by the people he actually cared about, much less the people that he didn't. So he packed his stuff and he just left.
Okay. Do you have any mementos of that old place left to you, or have you given it all up?
He has his axe is a family heirloom. His family is are woods folk, and they so he has this heirloom, very well made woodsman's axe that he carries with him everywhere.
Okay. Your next card then is the land, and you decide to explore well beyond your cavernous home, and you discover a place with an air of mystery. What strangeness do you witness there? And then I'm going to pull a little storytelling thing here. Taryn and Sammy, you kind of followed him. You got curious. It was probably Sammy, and then, well, Taryn, you got to keep an eye on the child. The child is kind of currently your responsibility.
Okay, so you followed me. Sorry, remember I'm operating through cold, so repeat
Yes.
to me what it is that I'm supposed to be role-playing through. I apologize.
You're fine. Exploring well beyond your home, you discover a place with an air of mystery. What strangeness do you witness here?
Okay. So we're up in mountains and in the excuse me. We're up in mountains and snow and all those kind of things, and it's winter.
Mhm.
As Pratchett is looking for dry wood and things like that, he starts to come across ground that is thawing, and as he pushes deeper, he finds a natural hot springs that is in the center of a copse of trees. What's mysterious and strange about this is that it wasn't there yesterday when he came, and there are trees around that have been cut down recently, so it's obvious that he's been this way before. But this hot springs was not here yesterday, but is now.
Mhm. You all witness him uncovering this sudden burst of steam.
This is cool. I mean, hot. It's hot. Did you do this?
Me? No. It's just warm. Also, wasn't here yesterday.
Neither were we. So maybe it's just visiting.
That is a very strange and terrifying concept for a hot spring. I don't think I want my hot springs to move.
It's water, isn't it? So, maybe it just decided to travel this way for a little bit. And then it'll change which way it decides to go tomorrow.
Still a terrifying concept.
I mean, water runs downhill, doesn't it? Maybe some tree fell further upstream and now the hot water's going this way instead for a bit.
I'm gonna study these hot springs. Does it look like perhaps it's a stream?
It most certainly does not look like a stream. As you look more to this hot spring that Pratt has uncovered, you see that it is perfectly round. And similar to the cavern's room that you found earlier, it deepens into a bowl. As you're watching the water, Pratt, you see, for a moment, you swear you see a face look back at you. It's a very indistinct face. You just know that you see two eyes that are even bluer than the water you're looking into, and they blink at you, and then they're gone.
And Pratchett does not notice this because Pratchett is pulling off his bear skin and just jumps into the hot spring.
I am covering the eyes of a child.
Darren, you noticed the face.
The eyes of the child are covered in this moment.
Yup.
Is it real hot?
I mean, it's
Hot, 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 hot,
It's
hot.
kind of hot, warm. Feels good though.
Did you burn yourself? All bits?
No.
I don't know why I can't see this.
I am not letting you witness this. I don't need your parents whenever we find them, or whenever they find us. Killing me for letting you witness this. They're not looking at the hot spring.
He's taking a bath.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't. No. You are too young for an anatomy lesson.
okay.
Now I feel awkward standing here.
Can I like keep my eyes closed but like just put my feet in the water instead?
Debatable.
Because it's cold and my feet stink.
Yes, your feet do stink. I know this.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a face.
Sorry, what?
Did you not see the face
I was
that was in the water?
jumping in the water.
That's his face.
Before you
in
jumped
the
in.
water.
Nope, not that. Not that. It was
Okay.
not his face. It's not his face. There was a face in the water.
You sound confused.
I'm confused by so many things on this mountain.
Maybe I should cover your face.
Pratt, how tall are you?
Like 6'6".
Okay. So it's pretty common for you to be able to touch the bottom of any water that you enter into unless you've ever been to the ocean. In which case that's not really the case.
Right.
You can't touch the bottom of this pool.
Hmm.
Not even a little bit. And as you
Seem-
look down in the water, as you're floating there, getting yourself clean, luxuriating in the warmth, something flickers for just a moment in the water, moving sort of like water moves, sure, but you didn't move that section of water. You're the only one in here, aren't you?
Hey, water. Do you giggle? Nope.
Hey.
Water don't seem to giggle.
I'm
So you like
putting
the water?
that in my notes.
It's mighty warm. And I had to share my cave with people last night, which means I had to share my warmth.
Are you telling the water this? Or are you telling me? I can't see, so I don't know.
He splashes them in the face with water.
Both of them?
Yep.
Well,
There's a screech. It originates from the city child.
Sami pulls the hand off of her.
Nope, there's another one. Tara knows this trick. Are you basically having a cat fight with my hands above your face?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming she still
pure-
loses.
I was almost about to say, though, for pure comedy, I just want you to win.
see, here's
Oh.
the thing. Technically, Eric's the GM for this hand.
Oh, this is true.
I mean, like, my favorite is that he took off the coat. He didn't take off everything else. He just took off the coat. So this entire argument has been going on over a naked man who's just like,
Yep. No, this is still scandalous, don't you know?
just not naked.
Still scandalous.
So Taryn
Oh,
is
you can see
clearly
ankles.
from some sort of Puritan community.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think as interim GM, what happens is during the course of said hand fighting, the pair of them actually also fall into the pool due to, mud of thawing ground.
I can see now.
Sploosh.
Welcome to the water. It does not giggle, unlike the cave.
You are rude.
Me?
No, not you. You're fine.
Oh,
I didn't do anything.
I'm fine.
You're rude.
And you're a trespasser. What's your point?
I mean, now that I'm
lot
in
of
the
things.
water, are you still trespassing if this is my water? like water.
He's going to reach out and put his hand on top of the 7-year-old's head and just push for a second.
Oh no!
And then let go and pull them up by the hair.
Sammy, you have been dunked.
She jumps on his back.
Okay.
Good.
He will get out and toss her into a snowbank.
It's horrible.
And he puts on his coat, and then from under his coat, he removes his wet clothes. So now he's just in, coat. And he'll start
She
to
jumps
wring
back
out
in the
his
water.
clothes. All right. So, that pool's mighty deep, so if you don't know how to swim, be careful. Stay away from the center of it. Also, I think it actually can giggle.
Sammy looks down.
You see the water shifting as you move to keep yourself afloat. And for a moment, you see a face. Just a moment. Almost a whisper in the water itself as it forms, fading almost as quickly as it appears. It's a delicate face, something beautiful, easily, but then there's no color to it, and there's an immense sorrow. And then it's gone. As fast as you can blink. In that moment, the wind swirls and the trees all crack together and groan above you in a chorus of something that sounds like grief.
I don't think it giggles. Don't be sad, face.
No, be happy, because this will be funny. And then Pratchett hits Taryn with a snowball.
Pro streamer. Taryn's still in the hot spring.
Yep, so just eats a snowball in the side of the face.
Now, here's my question. Does this snowball hit them in the face so hard that it knocks them under the water?
No, because it's more of just like that kind of thing.
Cool. In that case, Taryn will spin around with indignant damnation that only a city person who can not handle.
Muster?
Thank you. And just be like, again, you are rude. I'm going to try to dodge the snowball, but probably fail. I am in water.
Yeah,
You are
I
in
picture this
water.
Very
Alright.
rude.
You done bathing yet?
A snowball hits you in the back of the head, Pratt.
I didn't do that.
Really? From there? Shocking.
I think the trees giggle.
And then at that exact moment, one of the trees above the hot springs, one of its branches, it can't keep up this load of snow. It's too much. And Sammy and Taryn, you're in this nice warm water, but you're receiving a snow shower.
Now I giggle too.
I'm too busy getting out. Actually, making sure the child gets out than me.
It's cold out there, though.
Yeah, but now it's cold in here.
It's a hot spring.
T-
Hmm.
I'm
Alright,
moving the child out of the hot spring.
And Sami will look back at the water and be like, I understand why you were sad now. Because you gotta go. Can't always be hot. See you later. What?
I think it's time for lunch.
Yay! What are we having?
Whatever we catch. You're also muted, V.
I haven't said anything yet.
Okay. And he'll go looking for some kind of lunch critter.
Are you going to bring them back to your place after you catch some kind of lunch critter? Or are you going to have Taryn bring you back to their place?
He was planning to illustrate that it's totally possible to make a fire in snow while meaningfully staring at Taryn for the entire process.
You do so.
Leeward side of the tree.
You are also a show-off.
Maybe that's why people don't like you.
I hope you caught your own rabbits. And he will begin to eat the rabbit while again staring meaningfully at the two of them.
You know, it was a rabbit when you caught it. Then you look down at it, and now you're pretty sure this is some really massive gecko.
Lizard's fine. It's got to be more careful with bones, especially in the tail. Watch it.
Watch the tail.
Just when you eat it. It's very hot.
You know, I want to like you. You giggle at things that make other people sad.
Yes. That's correct.
That's mean.
Also true.
I'm telling.
Don't worry, I already know. Because I'm the only other person you can tell. As we don't know where your parents are.
I'll tell someone else when I meet someone else as well.
That's a fair plan. Good to know. Warning them of the doom that awaits them.
Yeah.
So, Pratt, am I correct in assuming that your only home right now is the cavern?
No, Pratt has built a cabin.
Oh. Okay, then. This card can apply to you. As we pull your home card,
Okay.
how large is your home and what rooms do you have in it? What does it look like?
It is a large, it's relatively large, like large for one person, cabin that is entirely, log cabin, very Adirondack Mountains kind of thing. And it is, the well-finished joints are set perfectly. All of the small cracks and things have been patched with, a mud and straw kind of stucco. And he approaches the door and he points at a sign. Pratchett's house. And there is a sign there that says Pratchett's house. You don't get to own any of this. But you may come inside. And he opens the door, and inside there is a large living space that has a wood fire stove and a couch that's made out of wood and has a bear skin on it. And then there is another door that leads back to his bedroom. So it's just a 2-room cabin, but
else did you think you were going to meet out here?
No one, hopefully.
So why do you have a sign on the door?
In case other people came by. I hoped I wouldn't meet anyone. But as illustrated, hopes are for suckers.
She wanders over to the couch, feet up. It's comfy.
Kieran notably says nothing.
Okay. Are you coming in or are you not?
Oh, I'm entering.
Okay. He'll close the door and go start a fire.
Did you build this?
I did. Why?
All of it?
All of it. Every bit of it.
By yourself?
Yep. That's why I have the cave. You gotta live somewhere while you build the cabin.
Do you need 2 homes?
The cave was largely to build the cabin. But sometimes, while I'm out,
Mhm.
it starts to snow or be windy. Or I get snowballs thrown at the back of my head by someone I can't find. And when that happens and I'm far away from the cabin, I have to stay in the cave.
Oh, so it's like a summer, winter vacation home kind of.
It's not like that at all. But okay.
Do you have kids?
No.
Why not? Don't you like kids?
No.
Why not?
Because I've met you.
So before you met me, you wanted kids.
No.
Do any of your answers make sense?
Yes. You asked if I
Made
built
you
the
say yes.
house. I told you yes.
Why do you have 2 rooms?
Because I sleep in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rude. I'm not a barbarian.
You wear bearskins.
Yep, and you know one of us has been cold all day. The other one hasn't.
I fell in a hot spring.
You were cold before that. You complained about it the whole way to the hot spring.
Yeah, because it was cold.
I was not.
Mm. Well, I'm not cold now.
No, because you're in my well-made house with a fire.
Well,
And while he's been talking, he like carries a large pot over and puts it on a hook in the fireplace. And then sits down in a chair and starts to work on something.
what you doing?
Taryn, take the child and go and find more wood.
Right. Sure.
I don't want her. It's cold.
I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be cold and stay cold.
Well, then tell me I can stay here.
No, don't tell her that.
I wasn't asking you.
And he's like, gets up and starts to push them out the door.
Okay. You are both pushed out the door.
And he
Heels
closes it and
sliding.
bars it.
Yep. And that will bring us to Chantel's hand.
Do you want to do break first?
Sure thing.
Okay. All right. So Thank you so much, everybody who is here with us. Thank you for the new follows and for the raid. That was very kind of you. We hope that you all are having fun. We're having a good time. But we need to go and do the quick 3-5 minute break thing. I've got to go make more tea because this voice was a bad idea. And those kind of things. So, I don't have a BRB screen for this because it's a one-shot. So I'll put you on the starting soon screen, and we'll see you all in 3 to 5 minutes. And we're back. Sorry about that. It took a bit longer than it was supposed to, but we're here now, and we're glad that you're still here with us. So, without any further ado from me, I will hand the reins back to Vera to deal some cards to
All
Chantel.
right. Chantel, we have the cards for Sammy. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first up, you have the Ace of Spades, which is the land. Doo-doo-doo. There's a body of water near your home from where you source your water. What makes this unique?
It's all very thick ice, except for just a little bit where Sami has like chipped away, dug down and chipped it away, and then put some sticks in around where she's chipped it away so that she can always get water from there. That's her little spot, and that's where she'll go back to.
Okay. It's a quiet pond in a nice copse of trees. It's a place that's very settled, and for you, it feels peaceful. Although perhaps it doesn't for Taryn. Perhaps for Taryn, it almost feels ominous. Perhaps for Pratt, it almost feels like you're being watched. But for Sammy, it's quite peaceful. And as you sit sometimes gathering water amongst the snow and the ice and the trees, you just feel a part of everything connected. All right. So next up you have the 10 of Clubs. You find what remains of a wondrous feat of engineering. Does it still work? What is it?
Engineering.
Yes.
It's Sami finds in the snow while they're looking for wood a little basket and a little winch that pulls the basket up into the trees.
Mhm.
And it still works, and Sami climbs in it and then just tries to pull
Taryn,
herself
you
up into
witnessed
the
this.
trees.
Sammy,
Pratt, you also witnessed this.
Sammy, what are you doing?
Climbing.
How about we don't go into mysterious trees?
Maybe she'll
But
fall and then
maybe-
she'll talk less.
No. Ignore rude man.
Okay.
Sammy, don't go into the trees.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Oh.
You
She
make
climbs up, she goes into the trees.
All right. You find what remains of a treehouse. It's not in the best shape, but it clearly exists and has existed for a long time. Somehow there's moss growing, verdant, almost like a carpet on the aged wood as you step into the little treehouse. And there's a table. And upon the table, you see a little scattering of blue and red gemstones.
Gonna pick them up.
Okay, you do. They glow a little brighter as you do, but then they fade. And they're just pretty rocks in your hand.
She goes out to the tree again and she looks down at Pratt and says, "This is my house. It doesn't have my name on it yet, but it's going to have my name on it. And then you have to like knock at the front door. You can't just come in because it's mine."
Deal.
Can bears climb trees?
Yes.
Can you climb trees?
Pratt will climb the tree.
No, you have to. She goes inside and shuts the door.
He takes out his knife and carves Pratchett on the door.
She opens the door and pushes him off the tree. It's my tree.
Chantel is currently the GM. Pratchett,
Okay,
you fall.
bye.
You fall a good 20 feet into a pile of snow.
Hello? Are you still talking? Hello? She climbs in the basket and winches her way down.
Pratchett is still in a snowbank.
She digs through a bit. Hello? She taps him on the head.
Ow.
Well, that is what happens when you try to put your name on something that's not yours. See, when I came to your cave, it didn't do that.
Well, your door says Pratt now.
Hey. Did you give yourself the name Pratt, or did other people call you a Pratt?
My name's Pratchett.
But question stands.
He takes a drink out of his flask and pulls himself out of the snow.
Your house didn't look like it was in very good condition. We should probably fix it.
Okay. Are you doing that, like... Do you want to fix my house so that I don't visit your house? Because I'll still visit your house.
What if you visit less?
What if I visit more?
Then I will just break your house.
Don't break my house. That's not very nice.
Neither is visiting.
Well, look, I didn't walk into your house and start writing my name on your house.
False. You did. You came into my cave and wrote your name on the floor.
I walked into my cave and wrote my name on it. You walked outside my house and then you decided to write your name on it. And now it just says Pratt, like it's a stupid house, but it's not a stupid house.
He's just gonna, like, start to winch himself up.
It's my house.
Taryn's been staring at the sky. If they knew any gods to pray to, they would be praying.
The sky waves at you.
Like a cloud hand, or...
Yeah.
It's disconcerting.
Sami starts wailing. I'm not
Oh.
going to wail, but she just starts wailing
Oh no.
at Pratchett.
I will attempt
loud.
to calm the child.
Be careful, you'll
She's
bring the bears.
loud. Maybe they'll eat you because they can climb.
Yeah, but you're down there, so you're an easier target.
I'm only little. I'm just a small meal. They'll still be hungry and they'll come get you.
No, Taryn's down there.
Taryn, you should run. Wah.
I'm not leaving you to bears. Why are you crying? I missed this entire interaction because I was too busy staring at the waving sky.
Yeah, welcome to the forest. The sky waves. Caves giggle.
Kings giggle and
Trees
there are
do-si-do
faces in the hot
sometimes.
spring.
And the hot spring gets sad.
So why were you crying? We're missing the point.
He took my basket. I can't climb trees without it.
Why did you take the basket?
I had to get up.
You're both children. Why are you climbing the tree? You can just climb the tree. You just proved that you could climb the tree earlier, and now you're in the basket to climb the tree. Which, amazingly, I don't know how that basket is holding you. No offense. No offense. I don't know how this basket is holding you, but, like, something just doesn't seem right here. Why? Give me a better reason. Why are you in the basket?
Well, I'm not in the basket anymore. I'm very much now on the tree.
Is the
Let the
basket
basket back down.
I will send the basket down.
there? Basket is down. You can stop crying and summoning the bears.
I don't summon bears unless I want to play.
You play with bears. Okay. This is gonna be very hard.
What is? Playing?
Raising you.
I don't want to be raised.
Mm,
Can't I just stay like this
no.
forever?
No.
No. So the basket's down?
She climbs in the basket.
And now I'm the only one down here.
No, she just climbs in the basket and curls up.
Pratt, what you doing up there?
I start fixing the house.
Okay. The afternoon passes much like that. And soon enough, it is time for you all to eat. You are starving. So, Sammy, describe a typical dinner. Where do the ingredients come from? How do you prepare and partake of the meal?
Well, before acquiring a grown-up,
Now you have two.
yeah, I know, right? That's a lot of work looking after grown-ups.
It is.
Uh-huh.
The forest agrees with you. But it says you're
Yeah.
doing a good job.
I'm trying my best. So she would normally go out into the undergrowth and just dig and try to clear away areas where there are maybe wild turnips, wild things in the undergrowth. She likes to dig a lot. And she'll find root vegetables or just roots. And because she can't cook, she'll either look for something warm to heat them on or just eat them.
Mhm.
So she'll prepare dinner by just breaking things up and then smushing some things up. And she has a little wooden bowl. She just smushes things in the bowl. And then she just hands it over. She'll add some water to it. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen Hook. It's a good imaginary dinner. And she will provide because she has to look after her grown-ups.
You are each given a bowl of this.
I'm assuming I've had this before.
There are herbs in it. It's not awful.
I'm assuming I've had this before, so I'm just gonna be like, thank you, Sammy. You did a wonderful job this time. I love the extra herbs that you did. Did a good job.
It's healthy. It's healthy.
And then because I care for my my child, I shall eat the mush.
He kind of looks at it, and then he just puts it upended on Taryn's head.
Why are you so rude to me?
It's such a waste of food.
No, those
those products are good for your hair.
I don't know if I believe you.
Just real quick question, Eric. Does Pratt have hair?
No.
Thought so.
But you don't know because he's never taken his hat off. He has a huge beard, though. And, like, he will, like, scoop some off of Terran's head and, like, rub it into his beard.
Good for your hair.
But it's dinner time, not bath time. So you're wasting my dinner.
No, you have yours.
I'm trying my best to put food on the table for this family. And you won't eat it.
Nope.
What
And
are you
he'll,
going
like,
to have for
he'll
dinner
pull,
now?
like, a thing of jerky out of his coat and bite.
Do you have enough to share with the class?
No, you guys have hair product.
We're
I
so
don't know if I
confusing.
like you.
Good.
And he'll go back to fixing
Eating.
the house.
Mm-mm.
All right. Sammy, last card of your hand. Ready?
Mhm.
It's your U card. Of all of the things that you left behind, what do you miss the most? Finally, we get one of the loaded ones.
Mm. I miss my little sister. I thought I didn't like my little sister, so I left. And now that I've left, I think about her a lot more, and I kind of wish I didn't leave because maybe she'd be more cool now than she was. And she was a baby. Like a really little baby that's not fun to play with. Maybe she'd be good to play with now.
Do you tell this to either of your family members?
Mm. I would say it to no one in particular, but I'd say it out loud.
So I'll leave it up to them if either of them hears you.
Pratchett hears.
Yeah, Terran probably hears. Would Pratchett react? Sorry, I kind of stepped in.
I mean, you're the one who left. You could go back.
Not really.
Why?
Been gone a long time.
Sure. You're a
Want to
kid.
know a secret? Yeah, huh? She leans over and whispers in his ear, I don't know which way is back.
You should take her back, city girl.
I don't know where back is. Not
What?
not where she's from.
What's a city?
It's a group of a lot of buildings with a lot of people and a lot of ideas, and it's very hectic and opinionated and has a lot of just people.
What's
lot of people.
opinionated?
You know how people have ideas? They have
Yeah.
ideas about how things work.
Uh-huh.
Those are opinions. Some people have really strong opinions. They really believe that what they know is right.
But doesn't everybody think that what they know is right? Or else they wouldn't think it.
Yes. You are oddly insightful for a small child. But some people like to push their opinions and ideas on others. And
So
expecting them to just go along with the opinion.
So a city is where a lot of people tell another lot of people that they think that the thing they think is real. And then a lot of other people say, no, they don't think that thing is real, and nobody knows what they think is real. But everyone
Sure.
thinks something different.
Let's say yes.
I don't know if I'm from a city. That's a lot of thinking.
City is also just where a lot of people just get together, like a lot of people. Usually has like guards and important people. I don't know. I never talked to the important people.
Oh. Is it a lot of grown-ups, or do they have a lot of kids?
Healthy both in a way.
She looks at Pratt. Do the grown-ups act like kids?
I'm not from a city, I don't know.
You act like kids. Taryn, you act like grown-ups, but also like kids. Maybe you should both be kids. It's much easier.
You are not wrong. It is much easier. Can't go back though.
Why not?
It's not how time works. Not how growing up works.
Have you ever tried?
Yes.
Ooh. Do you like having a beard?
Yes.
I want to have a beard, but maybe not till I grow up.
When I was living on the farm, I had a cousin. And we would ask about faces sometimes. And we would say, hey, does Pratchett have a chin? And she'd say, no, he has a beard. And we'd say, well, do you have a chin? And she'd say, yes. And then we'd point at the dog. We'd say, does the dog have a chin? No, they have a fuzzy chin.
And then he'll go back to what he was doing.
Taryn looks confused.
Sami oddly gets it.
This sounds on brand.
Taryn, do you want a beard?
No. I used to think so, but no.
But you could put roots in it.
I also can put roots in a bag.
That sounds more practical.
And cleaner.
Pratchett will come walking over. You want a beard?
Me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll like pull like a scrap of his coat off, and he'll like dip it in like the sap stuff he's been using while repairing the house and just smack it to her chin. Now you have a beard. And he'll once more resume some sort of house fixing.
Would you say that that concludes your hand, Chantel?
Yeah.
All right. Time passes and the season begins to change. The cold begins to become less bitter, and the days begin to grow warmer as the sun appears more often, dappling through the branches of the trees. The snow begins to melt, and the ground beneath you, even though it is slowly covered by the shade of the greenery above you, turns just as green, thick with moss and soft beneath bare toes or feet that are booted. Now it's time for questions. In turn order, each one of you asks one question of another character. Each of you asks one question, answers one question. So figure out who you're asking. The questions you can ask, and these can be in character or out of character, like more as a world building concept, character building concept. So your questions are, how has your time here so far changed you? What do you love the most here? What do you struggle with here? What can I do to help you? And do you want to leave this place? And it'll start with Blue.
My question would be for Sammy. And it is, how can I help you?
Is that in or out of character?
I forgot that was part of the statement. I'm tired. I don't think they'd actually ask that, so let's say out.
Okay. Oh, do I answer it right now? Oh,
We're good at
okay.
this.
We're great. I thought it was like we all ask a question and then we all answer the question. Okay.
Nope, you answer it now. So this would just be basically things that maybe Sammy has visibly struggled with that Taryn would be able to ascertain she needs help with.
Taryn would be able to help her. She would visibly struggle with loneliness. She seeks out people and then she just sort of moves into their lives. So Taryn would most be able to help her not feel lonely, but in the sense of someone in the sense of not asking her whether or not she wants to hang out or be around someone, just sort of being there.
Okay. Eric, ask a question.
So at some point, well, I'm muted. in
You're
that
muted.
chat. Yep. But I wasn't muted for stream. That's how this works. It's two different audio sources. But as they're doing various work at some point, and he's seeing Taryn, the city slicker, struggle with this more rough and wild lifestyle.
Do you want to get out of here? Like, would you go back?
No.
Why? You're not exactly good at this. And you don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. I just don't know how. I've had to learn quite a bit of it on my own. But I was not happy in the city. So I left.
Couldn't you have gone to, like, another city?
Didn't feel right. I traveled. I went to quite a few places and eventually just ended up here. I saw a lot. I learned a lot, but ended up here.
Alright. Well, I'll teach you what I can, I guess.
That is the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah.
And I would greatly appreciate it.
You're holding that axe wrong.
Can you show me how to hold it right?
And he will. Start with the hand at the head and at the base, and as you do the swing, you let your hand slide so that you get your momentum of the axe head as well as your swing. It'll work better.
I will try that.
It definitely works better.
Fantastic. I'm going to keep doing it.
Well done. We'll learn
Thank
more
you.
tomorrow. I don't want your head to explode.
I'm not that dumb.
Just practice this one. You've been here for like 4 months. You've watched
Yeah.
me cut wood every day.
I'm not exactly observant in that end. Besides, I kind of felt that if I stared at you, you'd chase me off into the woods or something.
Sammy's still here.
Yes, Sammy's 7.
They've been
I
here a
am
while.
not
They
Sammy.
might be 8 now.
Oh, I don't know.
We probably should learn. Seems like it would be important to a kid to not have their birthday forgotten.
Do they even know when their birthday is?
I don't know, but that seems very out of character for me to ask them. It's more in keeping with who you are.
I will ask their birthday.
Good. Also, when you put potatoes in the stew, you wash them.
I know that.
Then why don't you do it?
I do it.
No.
I'm gonna go back to this.
Nope. Yep. Cut wood.
Yep.
correctly all of this wood. And he'll
Yep.
leave.
Which brings us to a fantastic place for Sammy to ask Pratchett a question.
Pratchett,
Hmm.
you're always grumpy.
Mhm.
What can I do to help? How do we make you not grumpy?
Go home. And he'll sit down, like, on the chair. It's not about not liking having you here. This isn't a place for a 7-year-old. 7-year-old's place is with their parents, with their sister, with any other family that may be there. Taryn and I, we're not a good family. I mean, we're the best you got. It's better than, like, wolves, maybe. But you deserve something better. So if you want to help, and you want to actually make me less grumpy, we need to find a way to get you back to your family. Because you know how sometimes you miss your sister? Your parents experience that at a vastly stronger strength than you.
You think so?
I know so. I would not be surprised if your mom still cries herself to sleep every night.
I don't know where home is now, though. And I think it might be everywhere, all at once. Sometimes.
And he'll kind of look around. Come with me.
Okay.
And he'll go out and go to where Taryn is still chopping wood. Stop that. Come with me.
Did I do it wrong?
I haven't looked yet, but come with me.
Okay.
No, bring the axe. Don't ever leave the axe with the wood. What are you doing?
You just told me to go with you.
I
I'm
didn't.
Sorry.
Do I ever leave the axe?
No.
And he'll take them back to the cave where the giggling happens. And he'll sit down. Giggle cave. I need to know where this girl is from.
The land only knows that which has walked across it.
She's been walking across for a long time.
Not all land knows all places.
No, but you can talk with the land next to you.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not right, but you're not wrong.
I mean, you are adjacent to, like, that tree, right? So couldn't you, like, ask the tree to ask the other tree? And eventually we'll get an answer. Here's the thing, land. This little girl shouldn't be here. Taryn and I, we should be here. This little girl, be quiet, little girl. This little girl should be with her family. She left her little sister. She left her parents. I've been here a long time. And I've always respected you. And I've always done everything I can to be sustainable. On some level. And I have always, and he stops for a second, I have always driven out those who would have done otherwise. On some level, I think you owe me this. So what do you say, Giggle Cave? I'll go talk with Sad Hot Spring if I have to.
This isn't how I foresaw any of this going, but okay. Far to the west, there is a small village in which a small family was broken one night.
Can I hear this?
Yes, you all hear this.
You want to learn a new skill, Taryn? This is the part where you say yes.
I said yes. Sorry. Just mumbled. Yes.
We're gonna build a sled.
Okay.
Giggle Cave. I have a question.
I have one too.
Answer hers first.
Okay. As you
You're a
wish.
cave, so like, why are you talking?
The land whispers,
Yeah, but now
and
it's
the land
talking.
hears.
Or also giggles.
Huh.
Giggle Cave, there's that family of wolves that runs around in, Chuckle Cave. I was wondering if maybe you could talk to them and see if they'd be willing to pull a sled so we can this little girl home.
Puppies?
That could be arranged.
Wonderful.
You have 2 nights and 1 day.
To build the sled or to get back?
To build the sled.
Oh,
Whether or not you come back is left to you.
we can do that, even with Taryn's help.
I can help.
You play with the puppies. All right, Taryn, let's build a sled.
Oh, okay. I built a sled.
You build a sled. You build a sled, and you create not exactly a work of art, but it is certainly a fine sled once it's all said and done, thanks mostly to Pratchett's incessant glowering whenever anything goes even slightly wrong, and Taryn quickly trying to make sure that it doesn't. The process takes you a little less time than the deadline you are given, due to the fact that you have to rest, you have to eat, and, well, Sammy still needs a little bit of, guardianship. You don't really want to leave her unsupervised with wolves that long. That's
Yeah,
probably a bad idea.
I
We
would
can look
play
after
games.
the grown-ups.
I would play games with Sammy every now and then.
And that's when most of the work actually gets done. It's during that time period.
That's when most of the work gets done. But eventually your sled is complete. And you have for you a team of wolves and a sled that will fit 3 people.
Giggle Cave, what is the wolf's name? Or do the wolves talk? Are they part of the land? I don't know.
They're
Do
wolves.
the wolves talk? Oh.
Giggle Cave, what is the name of the boss wolf?
Rat tail.
On Rat Tail, take us to Big Meadow.
On you go across the sea of grass, out from the trees. You emerge into a tundra almost, with the sky above you, with the stars painted so thick that you almost could swear that it was done almost recently by a paintbrush. It's still evening as you begin this journey, but you were given a time frame.
And he'll
And
look
you
at
must go.
Taryn. New lesson. Look up. Do you see that one? Right there.
Yes. Yes.
Polaris. North. We're going west.
Okay.
And then he'll, like, very gently orientate the dogs.
On, Rat Tail.
On they go. The tundra races by you. Swath of color, lit blue, lit green, lit silver in the night's light. But the journey still takes you a decent amount of time. Probably.
I play a game of I Spy with Sammy.
Sammy loves it. She's here for that.
Three weeks is how long it takes you to get to the village that Sammy left behind. You come to the realization that Sammy had led a very wandering path, whereas these wolves head straight. They were given a direction, and that is where they go. And you come across a village, very small, perhaps 30 people. And the wolves lead you to a house.
Does this look familiar, Sammy?
Very familiar house.
You can't write your name on this one.
I won't.
And he will kneel down next to the sled and give Sammy a hug. And he
She
will
hugs back.
hand her the woodsman's axe. Now, Taryn's going to
Don't-
show you how to actually chop wood in a second.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Lesson number 1. Don't hit people.
It's only for wood.
You only hit the wood.
And we'll teach her the correct way to swing.
While
Now,
sitting outside of the house. Okay.
it's
Yep.
very dark. I'm executively hoping.
Sure.
But we'll pull the sled up onto, like, the little hill and send Sammy to the front door.
I want to hug Sammy first.
Fine, go do that.
I hug Sammy.
Sammy
like-
hugs back.
And do all like life lessons that Taryn has before like they go.
I want to hear at least one of these life lessons.
Kind of like, don't forget to wash behind your ears and remember to eat, and like roots are good and they're not always hair products as Pratchett says. Like they may be, I don't know, I've never.
Sometimes they're food, sometimes they're hair products.
they're
It
food,
depends.
Sometimes they're both.
Sometimes they're both. But never eat the hair.
Never eat the hair. You are correct.
Good lesson,
Remember Pratchett's lesson. The tail of the lizards and the geckos, they're bony. You want to watch out for that.
Okay. Don't eat the bony tails.
Yes,
Or eat the bony tails, but don't eat the bones of the bony tails.
that is better. Yes.
Okay. What if they drop the tails? You know, sometimes geckos get mad or scared, and then they drop the tail, and then it's all like, "Woo, I'm dancing tail."
You just
so the
leave
gecko
that
gets
then.
away.
Don't eat the
Don't
tail.
eat that.
Don't eat that
Don't-
tail.
Mm-mm.
Don't eat the extra tail.
No.
Only eat the tail if it's attached to the body.
Okay. Only eat the tail that's attached to the body.
Any other lessons, Taryn?
Oh, Taryn probably has like 5 more, but I just can't. I can't.
Okay,
think of
so
them
we
right
get
now.
5 more lessons, and Pratchett will reach into his coat, and he'll pull out that oil skin packet that he's had since very early. But he has taken all of those other papers out, and they're in a drawer in his cabin. But he has filled it with like stuff that he's written in the course of the like time period that they've all been together, and he will give it to Sammy.
What does it say?
Lesson number 1 is learn to read.
Well, I mean, I can read Pratt.
Mostly it's just a journal, so you don't forget what happened.
Okay.
Now, go see your mom and your sister.
She takes off one of her shoes and she hands it. She hands it to Pratchett. She takes off her other shoe because she doesn't have gifts. She takes off the other shoe and she hands it to Darren.
They smell a little.
Thank you.
And then
Thank
she
you.
runs to the front door and knocks on the door.
The door opens and you see your mother. Her face goes slack in shock, and then before you can even react, she kind of nudges the axe aside and then swoops you into the tightest hug that you've felt in so very long.
Sammy cries and is content.
Yes.
And then she looks back at her friends and she's like, "You have my shoes."
And Pratchett will like wave, but like pull Taryn toward the sled because this is not where either of them belong.
Okay.
On, Rat Tail. Take us home.
The wolf does as requested and brings you back to the place that you both had left.
By the way, your house sucks. You can live in mine if you want to.
I would greatly appreciate that. I did not build my house. I found it.
I know. I drove out the woodcutters who did. They weren't sustainable.
That makes sense.
We'll knock it down and use the lumber to build you a room, though.
Thank you.
Sure.
Do you hate me less now?
Yeah.
I
Kinda
take
like you.
back what Oh! I take it back. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. And I am honored.
We did a good thing.
Right this second, or?
No, when we took the girl back.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good thing.
We should talk to the Giggle Cave more.
We should. I really want to figure out what's going on in there. I've got these notes, and I was like trying to figure out what was happening, and like all the the artwork and the writing, and I'm trying to decipher it. But sometimes it's really hard because language was not my study.
I was drunk.
I believe that's also a study.
Yeah.
And he'll like kind of like nudge her shoulder and continue to ride off into the whatever time of dayness it is.
It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So this brings me to an interesting situation. Generally, this is a found family game, so generally, y'all stay together. And then there are the final questions that are answered.
2 families were found. They just were
Split the
separate.
party.
So y'all are answering this, I guess Eric and Blue are answering these together, and then Chantel, I'm so sorry, you are on your own.
Nah, just play the part of the mom.
Exactly.
True.
And have the mom ask Chantel a question, and have Sammy ask the mom a question. Or the sister.
It's not those questions. Do you live out your lives here or eventually leave?
Ooh, good question.
I think that eventually, I definitely think eventually Pratchett asks Taryn to stay.
Taryn would stay.
And sort of a be my partner, found a family kind of situation.
Yeah, Taryn would stay. They have no reason to leave.
Okay. Sammy.
Sammy would stay at home till she's a grown-up. But then at some point she would find that journal again and read it. And then she'll just sort of head off into the world again, but this time she has an axe and she knows how to make a fire and she knows how to make better food. She knows not to eat extra tails. She has better shoes. She's chosen better shoes. And she has warm clothes. And she heads out again.
Okay. Do you find them again?
She'd look for a long time. And she'd probably get pretty close, but I don't know that she'd find them.
Okay.
She might find the treehouse. So she knows she's close. But because she was so young, she doesn't know which direction she's going in to find where other things are.
Okay. What becomes of your home over the next few generations?
Once again, pending approval from my esteemed colleague, I would say it gets passed down through our children. It's this, we teach the skills that we have, and, you know, every once in a while people wander into the woods and assuming they're not children, who we then have to take home. You know, eventually someone comes who is very much in the same situation that Pratchett and Taryn found themselves in, where it doesn't necessarily start out as amicable or as necessarily pleasant, but circumstances thrust them together, and through time and cooperation together, a partnership develops there that allows this log cabin to just continue to pass through those generations. Always in keeping with a sustainable and land-centric lifestyle.
I agree.
All right. Sammy,
Could you repeat the question, please?
what becomes of your home over the next few generations?
Her home. The village continues to grow and it becomes a city. And a lot of people there have opinions. but there's always a sense of a path that leads out of the city and just turns into a dirt trail, then just turns into forest. It never sort of meets the edge of the forest.
Okay. What changes occur in the land over the next generations?
Go ahead, Blue.
You are mute in Zoom.
Go ahead, Blue.
Given how I'd say the Sims were pretty self-sustainable, if a chance, I'd say Terran would try to grow a garden, and through trial and error, many errors, many errors, a lot of trials, a lot of learning, a lot of general cursing at themselves. Eventually there'd probably be some form of a garden that would then, again, through trial and error, grow. It would probably, given how we're chasing away people who don't necessarily belong there, or don't need to be there, or aren't going to help the land in a way, I don't think many people would live there. I don't think a lot of people would move in. It would generally kind of be almost a sense of peace in my head.
Okay, agreement from Eric. Sammy?
The wolf population grows. And oddly, one member of each pack has a rat tail.
Those genetics.
Those genetics, can't weed them out. And the number of hot springs seems to increase. Oddly.
I see the Fae have been busy.
Yeah, more hot springs.
Okay. What things of yours are left behind long after you and your home are a thing of the past?
I already know this, so do people mind if I spew first? Cool. Definitely a loot.
Mhm.
They did take a loot with them when they left their city and were traveling and stuff like that. So definitely a loot that was probably actually passed down to the kids and such. And journals, actually. Lots and lots of journals. Some of them actually depicting just general day-to-day life and like general thinking and stuff like that, but it never really seemed to have any form of real organization to them. It would seem to be going from detailed research about the rituals and the dishes, the hot springs, the leftover tree house, the other houses in the area, the caves, the markings, anything, to a random comment about whatever soup was made that night, or whatever random thing happened. Like, oh yes, it looks like Rat Tail's sister was in the yard today. Like, just general random life comment that just seems to just break up the thought, like the stream of thought in the writing. All dated, although unsure how date was kept track of.
oddly 2 Nike sneakers, just separate but found somewhere. And an oilskin with 2 journals in it. One that was Pratt's, but then another one is sort of shoved in there as well. And on the first page, it says something like, "Hey, guess what? I learned how to read and write." And that's discovered somewhere in the woods near a treehouse.
There is found many generations after the line of Pratchett and Terran does come to an end, and as eventually the world presses in to a place that they kept and that their children and their children's children kept safe for so long, the home is found in shambles, but the cast iron potbelly stove still stands, and the fireplace, which was constructed out of homemade brick masonry that was inside the cabin, still stands there in the site where that cabin had been.
Okay. Your stories have been told, and the land will remember it even when humanity is forgotten. And this has been a tale of The Land Whispers. This is a game that could go many more hands, could go just like this one. You decide when you're done, but I think we told a pretty nice story there. I would love if we could all go around the table, just talk about favorite moments, if you like the game, blah, 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 and then we'll release all of you. So, whoever would like to start with that.
Go ahead and start us out, Shani.
Eric, you are muted in Zoom again.
It's because I don't want to cough in your ears while I also don't cough in chats. Go ahead and start us off, Shani.
Oh, wait, hang on. What was the question? I was in my own, like, blissful moment. So there we go. I was enjoying the game and just enjoying the aura of it.
Favorite part of the game, and if you liked the game, was the question.
Favorite part of the game was when Blue realized they were the GM for the first time. That was wonderful, because I'm glad you didn't pick me, because I'd have had the same reaction. I really enjoy this kind of storytelling, and the mechanics of it. I have no idea what you're looking at, because of course I didn't read the rules or look at it in any way, shape or form before we started, because I wanted to know what would happen. So now I want to go back and have a look. It looks like fun, and it plays like fun. I enjoyed it.
Blue?
I had a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed this. It's very clear to me that you can go a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways with all of this. My favorite moment. The treehouse, I think in general, was my favorite moment. Both in the finding of it, of Pratchett going up into it, Pratchett carving his name, like everything about the treehouse was just really endearing. I was getting, I don't know why, I was getting major Studio Ghibli vibes towards the end of this. Like by the end, I was like, yeah, I could see this being like a wholesome animated movie with like a deep life lesson somehow turned in there. But no, yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I had a good time. I will admit it took me a little bit to get into it, both from being sick and it just being so different to anything that I have done before. But by the end, I was into it and I was having a good time, and it just I think I actually hurt myself by going in blind, whereas I think it sounds like Chantel feels like they got benefit from going in blind. Whereas because I didn't know what to expect, I went in with a very different thought process. And if I had taken the time to read the short bit of rules and really understand, I think I would have come in with a different mentality and probably had fun more quickly. So for me, that was my biggest hiccup, was self-caused, is I didn't know what to expect. And so when I got something different than what I expected, I wasn't prepared to deal with it. I also got derailed by role-playing against my actual 7-year-old in a lot of statements, because Chantel essentially was just like, I'm just going to play Oliver. Even though I don't think that's what she intended to do, that's what happened. And so there were any number of times where, like, the annoyance on Eric's face is just like, I've actually had this conversation with my 7-year-old. It was not pleasant that time. So for me, that was the thing. My favorite part was, going into Giggle Cave and just sort of announcing to Giggle Cave that this was what we were going to do, and this is the trade I was willing to make in order to make it happen. Because as soon as it became clear that Chantel's character had a family, as soon as Sammy's family existing came onto the table, my entire agenda for this game changed. At that point, Pratchett's agenda was get Sammy home. It was no longer survival. It was no longer anything. It was, this is a man who'd left his family and knew that his family was probably mourning that he'd left. And how long she seemed to have been gone means she'd been quite young when she left. And so Pratchett was not willing to let that happen.
Okay. This has been The Land Whispers. It is a wonderful game. You can play it with a bunch of players like I did. Normally the GM is also like a player, but I kind of wanted to be here more as a guide than as a player in this scenario. You can also play it one, like just you, a deck of cards with which you pull your questions, and a journal to write your story in that you build. And I've done that many times. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope that you guys had fun. I hope that my players had a great time, and thank you for everything. And thank you, Eric, for letting me do this on your baby, because Do Respite is your baby.
That it is. So that brings us to our outro. Thank you so much, like Vera said, to everybody who came and hung out this evening. We had a bunch of people. We had a bunch of new followers. There were some technical hiccups, and I apologize for that, but I think that overall things went smooth. And the game was a lot of fun. I have published several times in chat there where you can pick up the game. If you're not and you use Twitter, go and follow Little Cup of Joe on Twitter, and you can see more from her.
Jess is real good people.
Indeed. So this has been Do Respite, and Do Respite produced this show. Do Respite's all about telling stories, and that's what we did tonight. It's what we do every night that there's content. So follow us on Twitter. Check out dorespite.com. You can see our schedule there. You can find links to all of our playlists for our various shows, and you'll find at least one of these four faces in every single broadcast that's there. So if you liked any of us, you can go and see that, and they'll show up pretty consistently. As for advertising plugs beyond that, Tomorrow night is an off night for Do Respite. Friday night is, I'm going to plug a channel that's not us. Go over to Saving Throw Show and watch their season finale of their Wild Cards ETU game. It's the stuff that Jordan Caves Kellerman does with his cast is amazing, and you should definitely go watch it if you're not. And it's a game that's worth catching up on YouTube if you haven't done so. And that's where I'll be Friday night, is watching the season finale over there. So come hang out with us there. And then Saturday, Do Respite is back in action, 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We are playing Somerset City, which is a Savage Worlds Supers game. It has potential at present to be our darkest game. It has strong potential to be our heaviest game. The themes in it are quite powerful and quite strong, and I'm really excited to play through it with my players, 2 of whom are with me tonight, Chantel and Blue. You will also find Jeff and Sarah, and Spaceboy will be there with us. So come and check that out. Again, 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time right here. Last important announcement. As of right now, you go to twitch.tv/DoRespiteMedia. Starting tomorrow, you will simply go to twitch.tv/DoRespite. That change will be official as of tomorrow evening. So you can, if you're following the channel, you'll still be following. Nothing changes there. It'll just be a URL change, which saves me 5 letters in tweets. So, and those 5 letters are valuable. Plus, it's harder to spell wrong when you don't have to throw that third word in there. So we're going to leave you guys with that. Thanks again for joining us. Sorry for my little ramble at the end. There was a lot to get through. But I've been Eric Taylor. Dress with my baby. For Vera Says Dragons, for Chantel B, and for the one and only Hidden Blue Pants. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Thanks for investing in stories, and have a great night.